Yo, what's up, world? It is your boy Velasco here today, chilling with my homie. And guess what? This dude is not just African in the blood, but he's American on the passport. Say what's up, man.
Hey, how's it going? What's up?
Tell him a little about yourself.
Well, my friends call me JC. I've been out here for about going on 2 years, almost 3.
His Russian is good.
Yeah, my Russian's good. I don't know. Maybe I just got lucky, surrounding myself with the right people. But I'm just out here, surviving.
Chilling. And we're in the city of Tumen. This is where he's from. This is like where you've been the majority of the time in Russia.
Yeah, pretty much the entire time I've been here was in Tumen. It was more in budget, and I was fortunate enough to make some, a couple of good, reliable friends. Let's say like over Skype or something.
And so what made you want to come to Russia? That's what most people want to know about blacks in Russia.
Well, I'm pretty sure Russia is always a curiosity for most people. I mean, if life would permit it or budget would permit it, you'd come out here to see what's up with that. But basically, I was in Miami, working a second job, helping people with job placement and translation and all the good stuff, like exchange students. And I ran into a team of people from Russia, and I really like, their open-mindedness, maybe their innocence. We all define innocence differently, but that's what I called it then. And they were very nice, and they invited me to come repeatedly, and I finally gave in and came in just for a month as a tourist, and from then got a job opportunity, the paperwork, and
So how was that month for you? That first month when you came here, how was that?
That first month was it was one of those things you don't remember. Like all you remember is swiping your card and ordering the next drink. And that's all you remember, and you think that you would have a notion of how much you're spending. You don't.
No.
As organized as you are, you wake up the next morning and look at your not the next morning, the next month, and look at your bank statement, and you realize rethink your choices and realize that you might be effed. So
you can curse, fuck that shit. I curse all the fucking time.
That's good. You could be pretty fucked. And basically, I that first month, I don't hold me responsible for it. Everything you could possibly think of that a person could do, I don't know if I've done it, but if I've done it, I don't remember.
So it was that first month in Tumen?
That first month was in Tumen.
Oh, wow.
It was in Tumen. It was, a lot of club hopping and meeting new people, sticking with old friends but making new friends. Basically, you're just like a kid. It's a new terrain. You're just out there running. You're running, and there are rules, but at the time it just seems like there aren't any rules because they're just a different set of rules.
But what everyone really wants to know about, though? How were the girls when you first got? He's married now.
I'm married now, yes.
But prior to that,
prior to that, I don't, not to upset or offend anybody, the way I was talking to my brother, actually, he lives in New Jersey, and I was telling him the difference between Russia and anywhere else. People ask me, what's the difference with the women? In my opinion, women are women wherever you go. The difference out here is that maybe a woman's into a guy like you, but you're just not an option. So imagine how many girls that are into a guy like you, and you're not an option, and then you kind of like show up, and then even if there was no way in hell they would get caught dead with you, or whatever the expression goes, they're tempted to give you a shot. Quite seriously.
A lot of times the pressure to society keeps them from doing it.
Yes, it does. But if there's a possibility of sliding into a cab and then meeting you at your apartment, they'll probably go for it.
You see, I ain't gonna front though. Like, I'm sure that happens a lot.
Yeah.
I want to get a black American experience that's different than mine. That's why we're talking to you people. That's why I have you here.
Yeah.
Because my experiences are a little different. Because all my experiences here are business. I try to explain that to people. Like, every city I go, there's people and girls and stuff waiting. It's a little different. I can't really give that average black guy in the country experience. Like, you understand what I mean? I can't give it. That's why I have you here.
Being that I wasn't business and I was able to stay in the city for enough time to make some acquaintances and understand, how I could get a cab, where are the hot spots, where you'd go for whatever you want. You need to give yourself at least a week of freedom, a free schedule where anybody that's trying to jump on that opportunity has a time. If they're hesitant with their decision, they come through. I hate to put it like that, but that I'm pretty sure if the situation were reversed in any other country, it would be the same deal. Nothing magic here, just opportunity.
All right. Now let's get to the real stuff that people want to know about. We're definitely going to get to the real shit. Now, we're two black dudes from America. We're in Russia. What most Americans know about Russia is hateful shit, of course. And we both know there's hate in Russia. We know that. But first of all, I'm going to just say straight up and down, it's not as bad as any American thinks. Because if you know from the internet and the news, that's the media. Fuck the media. They lie about me. They lie about a lot of shit. The media, they exaggerate. But be real. What kind of racism have you gone through since you've been here? You tell yours and I tell mine.
Well, in my opinion, the racism that I've gotten into, most people that are very open with the racism are probably not in their right mind. Either they're drunk, either they're pissed.
Drunk though.
Yeah, drunk, you're just asking for it. If somebody's drunk, try to avoid them. There's no point, unless you know them. And actually, a lot of times they're kind of friendly when they're drunk, so it's hit and miss. The thing about it, I think people are not in their right mind. Either they're trying to impress their girl or the guys that they're hanging out with. It's really hard to call it, but the racism is there. And really, this racism is a lot more innocent than anywhere else, just because of, we were talking about that earlier, about the history. It's just different. It's not the racism you are probably used to, or racism
in America. Because in America, some people get racist and say, I don't like black people because they're so ghetto and they commit a lot of crime. But in Russia, it's like, I don't like black people because I don't understand them, I don't like the way they look, I don't know anything about them, I don't want them around. Yeah. It's not based on anything, but just the physical. Because black people don't have a bad African black people, like us or American, but it's African blood. They don't have a bad culture. They don't have bad stereotypes out here. They do not go to school. I'm not talking about the Caucasians.
Yeah.
They have a bad stereotype a lot of times. But the black people out here don't have that. They're not known to be ghetto. They're not known to commit crime. Yeah. None of that stuff. But yet still people are racist. But the question for me, another one I have for you is, do you notice the difference between how people look at you when you're by yourself and when you're with your wife? Do you notice the difference?
To be honest, I can't say I do, because if I'm with her, we're probably at a bar or something, drinking and stuff like that. You get that look, like, I know everybody's thinking about it. You get that look, like, like, what are you doing with our girl type deal. You get that look, that's for sure. You get that look, and it's pretty, I am fortunate to be like, and I think you are too, to be like, we're not scrawny dudes. We're not super scrawny, and we're not big or anything. Like I'm 6'2", I weigh 220.
This dude is huge. He's 6'2", 220. He's huge in Russia.
Yeah. So Russians are, and I'm just saying that the ones that I've ran into, I've been in two, and please don't think I'm generalizing, because I'm not. I don't think they're big on being just risk it and be super provocative with no reason unless they're drunk. Mm-hmm. So being of our physical stature, in my opinion, I'm in Tumen, I'm not in other cities.
Yeah, Tumen's very different.
It's a lot more lay low.
It's nice here. Yeah.
People mind their own business a little more. I just don't, let me just go back to the question. I'm drifting, I'm sorry. There is a difference. When I'm alone and when I'm with my girl. When I'm alone, there's curiosity. People want to approach you, get a phone number, hook up, have tea, maybe kick your butt later or kick your ass later. But they definitely come off as nice. Mm-hmm. And when you're with your girl, you get the looks, but you also get some acceptance sometimes in this city. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure that it doesn't exist in other cities or
Moscow.
Moscow, no. I'm pretty sure it would go the other way around. Mm-hmm. But something that does work in my advantage, you're just talking about how, black Americans get a different...
Yeah. But they gotta talk to you first, but when they first look at you, they don't know that. It's just another black dude, so they assume you're African, which is okay, because we're African in the blood. Yeah. We're just born somewhere else.
Like, I get the questions, do you have a big, do you rap? Do you listen to rap?
Do you play
basketball? I personally hate, I don't hate basketball, but I can't play. I suck at it, so I hate it.
I'm nasty at basketball.
So You see, so
Nasty.
So my response, no, would be disappointing. Where
I can't dance.
Yeah. You can't dance.
I'm like, nah.
I think I can dance. I can't break dance or do any fancy, but I'll put in a little salsa style with hip hop and grind on the girls.
Oh, I can grind.
Yeah, we can grind, so we get away with that. You get away with that because people here, I don't think they can dance. So don't worry about that.
Yeah,
don't worry.
You got the upper hand.
Yeah.
But you told me you've been in a lot of physical altercations here.
Unfortunately, I have, and it's kind of my fault. Like my girl likes to say, and I really like it. She's like, if you look for trouble, you'll find it. So cut the mean mugging, because they'll find. If you're looking for it, if you're mean mugging, you're gonna get your ass handed to you.
But were any of those fights racially motivated?
Let me see. Let's just say if they weren't racially motivated, they did end up being racially motivated. Because that's the only thing they have to hold on to.
Yes.
So if they're going to insult you, that's the quickest card.
Yeah, that's like the Russian nigger.
Yeah, I haven't. If I heard that, if I got that, I didn't understand it.
You didn't know?
I didn't get it. Maybe I didn't get it. No, I live here, but people are not all like that in this city. But
right.
basically, they said, they're like, where are you from? It's like, I'm from America. It's like, nah, you're from Nigeria.
Which is cool because Nigeria's getting that money right now.
Yeah,
a lot of the richest people are from Nigeria right now.
Well, I guess the guy didn't know that, so he
doesn't know that.
He was trying to use it as an offense.
Go on Google. Yeah. Trust me, Nigeria is really getting that money.
Yeah. Sure. But the last altercation I got into, I just tackled them like if it was football.
It was 4 of them, you said, right?
Yeah, 4 of them, and one of them was a big dude. The 3 other ones weren't as big. They weren't scrawny either. I just tackled them like if it was football, and it caught them off guard because they were 4 against 1, so they thought I was just gonna apologize and walk away. But when they saw I was ready to do that, they surrounded me and kind of gave up after a while. Because I tried to, I can't fight.
But why?
I can't fight. I cannot fight.
Don't say that on camera.
Whoa. Yeah.
Don't worry, skinheads ain't watching.
I can't fight, but man, I'll tackle the hell out of anybody with my weight.
But what happened? Because basically what black people don't know is, we're black Americans, we're from America. And the thing with us is we grew up in a place where the history is white people have been treating us badly. So when we see white people trying to treat us badly in America, like, fuck you, fuck that, because of the history. But now we're in a place that doesn't have that history, and there's not that many of us. We go from a place where if a white person even calls you a nigger, you could sue them. If they're a rich person, if they do it like during business hours or something, if your boss calls you a nigger. Yeah. Now we're in a place where if your boss or a police officer calls you a nigger, it's just normal. Racial profiling is normal. Why did that fight start? Was it anything, do you think, that was racial?
Oh, no, it was definitely racial. Basically, it was a reject. I hate to talk about fights. I actually don't talk. I talked about the fight to you, just because of the fact that, I know you're going through what I'm going through. Mm-hmm. Basically, it just started. They wanted my phone number to hang out. I refused. That offended them.
That is a new one. This is a nice town. Yeah. This is I'll tell you how nice it is. When you go outside of my building and you look at the first graffiti you see, it says, be nice to everybody, in Russian, basically. And I'm not making this up. I'm going to get it tomorrow. It's very nice graffiti. Where I was before this was a town, I was in Rostov. Rostov is very gangster, but I guess it used to be racist. When you leave my building out there, you see at least 4 swastikas, just 4 big swastikas, and you see a bunch of Sieg Heil and 1488 everywhere in that bitch.
But are they targeting the Caucasian guys? Or?
First of all, targeting Caucasians, that's not too common, because Caucasians will get your ass, and everybody knows that. Everybody knows that.
I'm kind of lost in this.
They usually, because I'm not from, but my hometown in Russia is Moscow, and you learn a lot about racism when you come from Moscow. In Moscow, there's a lot of racism between the Russians and the Caucasians mostly. Now, it's been getting much better the last 6-7 years because the police have been cracking down on it more. Mm-hmm. You can't really be as openly nationalist as it used to be because you could get in trouble now, and I understand it. But the thing out there is, sure, I had a black American teacher who had friends who were killed 5-6 years ago.
Man.
When they were teachers, they were black, they were killed by skinheads. And I can get this guy's names. JB, I'll get him any time to talk about it on Skype, but his friends were killed. He was scared as hell. He's not here anymore. He's gone. But it's been getting better since then. So how it is really, sure, they would attack and stuff and fight Caucasians too, but the thing is Caucasians usually don't travel alone. When you usually see a Caucasian dude, he's with a bunch of other Caucasian dudes and they're ready. all the time. They're ready.
I'm not sure I identify the groups well, but I go to the gym, to a gym, and judo, by the way, is in style out here.
Yes, judo.
People don't play. Like
Russian
Bootsy's
sambo.
into it. You know, I like that part. You know, I like the promotion of sport. You know, young and all that.